Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. BMad Method, episode 13 of 15. Your AI code reviews are probably way too nice. When you simply ask a model to look for bugs, it hands you polite suggestions and generic syntax checks. To find catastrophic flaws, you need specialized, opinionated diagnostic engines. This episode covers exactly that: adversarial review and edge case hunting. People often treat AI code review as a single general-purpose pass. They throw a diff at a model and hope it catches everything. This rarely works well. A generic prompt lacks a specific mental model, leading to shallow feedback. The BMad methodology solves this by using tightly scoped, specialized personas. We are going to look at two distinct review tools that operate with completely different methodologies. First, consider the adversarial reviewer. This tool is attitude-driven and highly skeptical. It does not trust your code, your infrastructure, or your users. It assumes your implementation is fundamentally broken and actively looks for ways it can be exploited. It completely ignores stylistic choices, variable naming, or minor performance optimizations. Instead, it hunts exclusively for business logic gaps, privilege escalations, and broken trust assumptions. The adversarial reviewer looks at your API perimeters and asks how a bad actor could bypass your intended flow. It reads your code with deep cynicism, treating every input as a potential attack vector and every data boundary as a weakness. Next, we have the edge case hunter. This tool operates with the exact opposite personality. It is mathematically cold, devoid of context, and entirely mechanical. It does not care about malicious users or business intent. Instead, it performs strict path tracing. It builds a mental control flow graph of your code and follows every single branch to its logical conclusion. The edge case hunter focuses purely on state mutations, boundary conditions, and data types. It looks for the obscure execution paths that cause silent failures, memory leaks, or unhandled exceptions. To see the difference, apply both tools to a single piece of code, like a complex authentication diff. You pass this code to the adversarial reviewer first. Because it operates on cynicism, it ignores the mechanical syntax and spots a missing business logic constraint. It notices that while the authentication token is validated properly, the system implicitly trusts the user role embedded inside that token without checking the live database. The adversarial reviewer flags this as a critical trust vulnerability. Now you pass that exact same authentication diff to the edge case hunter. This tool ignores the token trust logic completely. Instead, via mechanical path derivation, it tracks the lifecycle of every variable. It finds a deeply nested validation function that lacks an explicit type check. It points out an unhandled implicit type coercion. If the input payload contains a null object instead of a string at that specific index, the application will throw an unhandled exception and crash. Here is the key insight. You do not use these tools to catch typos. You use them to force two distinct analytical frameworks onto your codebase. One attacks your assumptions about system trust and human behavior. The other attacks your assumptions about execution paths and data states. By separating the cynical attacker from the mechanical path tracer, you stop relying on generic bug finding and start exposing deep structural vulnerabilities before they ever reach production. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.